Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank y'all so much for stopping by today. Is the Philippines a money trap for foreigners? Let's talk about that today. Let's take a deep dive into the money situation over here, the cost of living situation. It's not cheap over here. It's just cheaper than where you come from. One thing, well, it seems that there's one thing that men never get tired of in the Philippines, and that's spending money. You know, we justify it. But from the moment that we step off the plane until the time we leave, we're spending. But you never hear anybody complaining about it. It's like it's part of the agreement. It's like woven into the whole Filipino situation, our Philippines vacation. But we end up spending about 25 to 50% more than we plan on spending. But honestly, it gets tiring, man. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you something. I've been spending for 14 years, man. It just gets tiring sometimes, you know, and it doesn't matter if you're spending on yourself or others. You know, it's just a subject we refuse to talk about, so I want to talk about it today. It's been raining here lately. Of course, it's still the rainy season. Merlin said, you know, it's October. Hey, man, buntag. So you're going to get a lot of rain. And then I explained to you before, this is Margarita Village Extension. So it's undeveloped because it's privately owned. You know, people talk about the infrastructure whenever they see this part of my neighborhood, but it's really not. It's just because the city doesn't own this. San Carlos City is a very well managed, very well run city. You'll see it, but after you go around to these other cities and then you come here, you know what I'm talking about. But it's been raining a lot, so it's kind of muddy. But I wanted to do this video today because it's very important. The Philippines is a money trap for us. I'm going to go on record and say it. Because we never get a break. I mean, there's been times at home where I got a break. But I mean, there's just no break here. You're always paying for something. You're always buying something. She always needs something, which translates into we always need something. You know, it's just something I woke up with on my mind. I wanted to talk about it because I really don't know what I'm going to talk about. I just talk about real life as it pertains to me over here in the Philippines. I know there's going to be people, the exceptions to the rule in my comments. Okay, I get that. You know, but the reality is we spend from sun up to sundown. That's the reality. I don't care how you look at it until it's gone. It's a never-ending cycle. And I just want to warn you guys. That's why very seldom do I talk about budgets and how much it's going to take to survive over here. Every situation is different. But one thing we have in common is we spend from the time we get here to the time we leave. The more money you have, the more money she's going to spend. I don't even think they mean no harm. They're just not used to having it laying around. Literally. Laying around. Because you're laying around. You know. It's just woven into the unspoken agreement, I guess, you know. And this goes for every man, not just the big spenders or the simps. You know, you can complain all you want and say no as many times as you please. Yeah, but it just doesn't work, man. At the end of the month, you went over your budget. That Filipino Tuneup is expensive, man. I'm gonna let you know that now. It's getting more expensive because we've convinced them that it's made of gold. But it's not. So yeah, let's talk about this today. Because we're slowly being drained of our money over here. And we're complicit in this legal robbery. I know, I thought it was cheap in the Philippines. I thought the cost of living was low over there. I know, we tell you that all the time. It really is. But we get sucked into something else. We're paying for more than the cost of living and for more lives. It's one of the main reasons I built that guest house. I said, I'm going to try to slow the process. And that's really all it does, is slow the process. To cool the pockets down just for a little while. Because there's always something else to buy. I got my welcome to the Philippines moment in 2010. I came off one of them good months. I had about $20,000. And for 2 months, we went everywhere, did everything that we wanted to do. And when I got back home, I had $13,000 left. I spent $7,000 US in 2 months. In 2010, that's a tremendous amount of money. And I thought to myself, I thought it's supposed to be cheap over there. Hey, Bambutak. And it got me to thinking, it is cheap for Filipinos, but it's not cheap for foreigners. It's actually a money trap for us. Because it takes forever, if ever, to get rid of those bad spending habits that we've developed our whole life. We just bring them over here and everything looks like a deal. So you end up spending about 25 to 50% more than you plan on spending. So put that in your budget. If you say, hey Calvin, can I live off $1,000? Well, you better make that $1,250 to $1,500. Because that's really what it's going to boil down to. I'm just going to talk about my situation. I pay for everything. And remember, I signed up for it. I got a daughter I've got to take care of, but it doesn't change the scenario from tricycle rides, groceries, rice, books, lollipops. It just never ends. There's always something that I'm buying. And the minute it looks like, you know, I'm settling in, hey, man, Botak, here comes something else. That's on top of the bills that have to be paid. This house really saved me. It saved me a lot of money. We've been in the house 2 years. I've almost got my money back, believe it or not, when you think about it. Man, Botak, when you think about a compound like that would probably cost you about 20,000 pesos per month. And we're not talking about utilities or anything like that. We're just talking about rent. You have that 2-bedroom house, a new house, 180 square meter lot, and you also have that guest house and everything and the location. It's about 20,000. So I've got about half of my money back already of my investment. So that was a good investment. But the spending never ends, guys, and I just wanted to talk about that today because it's a subject that we don't ever want to talk about. It's like part of the unspoken agreement. Hey! It's not cheap over here. I just want to let you guys know. And yeah, the cost of living is low over here. But we're paying for more than the cost of living. And we're paying for more lives. So just get that in your mind. I don't know what happens really. But you're going to need more money over here than you think you need. Let's be real. That's just the nitty gritty, guys. I know these other vloggers are going to tell you a lot of crap, but it's some hidden expenses that you incur from living in the Philippines. If I put 10,000 pesos in my closet, by the end of the week it's gone. Because they're not used to having that money just laying around like that. Hey man, Butchak. So Merlin can't help herself. She's gonna spend it. She's gonna find something to spend it on. Well, Calvin, why don't you just say no? I don't care how many times you say no, it's not gonna work. You're still gonna end up spending more than you would normally spend. This is why I'm doing the video. I know you guys like to be entertained. You like to see the young, beautiful, attractive Filipinos. Well, I'm gonna tell you, that cost. That's what they're not telling you on those videos. Oh, what it's like to be with a Filipino single mother, yeah? It costs. Oh, what are Filipinos like? Money. Your money. You know, where are you going to meet Filipinos? They're online, they're sitting there waiting. Because they want you to be Moses and lead them to the promised land. I'm not talking about Philippines, I'm just talking about reality. I'm not even talking about the big spenders over here that buy houses and lots and all that stuff and give away their life savings. That's not what this video is about. This video is about everybody, every foreigner who comes over here, man or woman. You end up spending a whole lot of money that you never expected to spend, because we're under the illusion that it's cheap over here. It's not cheap. Remember, this was a U.S. colony for 50 years. Filipinos aren't stupid. They've got a lot of Western thinking wrapped into and mixed into their culture now. You don't believe me? Go check out some of these condo prices. You'll see. And then compare it to someplace like Thailand. And you'll be like, what in the world? You know, I got a friend over here, he spent 14 million for a condo. I'm like, 14 million? That's twice as much as what my house cost in America. I had a 2,200 square foot house with a 1,400 square, well, 1,500 square foot walkout basement. And with today's prices, it would be about 7 million pesos. So yeah, guys, it's just something I woke up with on my mind today, and I wanted to talk about it. The Philippines is a money trap for foreigners. So just get used to it, man. Just put that in your mind. Those days of being a cheap Charlie over here are gone. You're going to be a big spender by default. So if in America it's getting late, before you let your head hit the pillow, please find somebody to help. If you don't want them late grocery runs, beer runs, weed runs, just getting off second shift while you're on your lunch break. You see somebody on the street or wherever you see them, buy them something to eat, buy them something to drink, give them a few dollars. If you're in the Philippines, it's early. I guess it's about 7:15 a.m. on Wednesday morning. Now a day goes by, I don't help somebody. Another big house going up. I guess they made a deal that while they were building this house here, they wasn't going to build this one. I guess because there's not enough room for all the equipment and stuff. But once that house was finished, beautiful house, they started on this one. I'm going to help somebody today. As a matter of fact, we're starting a new game. It's called Are You Smarter Than a Grade 5 Student? And we're just going to stop people on the street and give them a chance to win 1,000 pesos. It's going to be real simple. We're going to have a series of questions. The easy questions start at 20 pesos. And they get more difficult, they get more expensive, up to 1,000. So if they answer the easy question like, who's the president of the Philippines right now? They'll say Ferdinand Marcos Jr. We'll give them 20 pesos. We'll say, hey, you can take that 20 pesos and leave, or you can go for 50 pesos. And we'll ask them a more difficult question. If they answer, we'll give them the 50. If they don't, they lose to 20. I think it's going to be fun, because I was asking Merlin them some questions last night, and boy, we were laughing because, believe it or not, they don't know a whole lot like you think they do. They look at their house, man. They're finished with it. Looks almost like mine, really. That's the same type of fence he wanted to give me, by the way. But I guarantee you that this house costs more, even though it looks just like mine. Same lot size, looks like. It costs more because inflation. Building materials have gone way up. And I know that's probably what they told them. They said, hey, we want a house like Sunshine Shoulders because their subscribers are mad. No excuse not to help somebody over here if you're over here, especially on my dime. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay out of trouble. See y'all next time.